that answer ex ante going in. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you very much.
All right, what's going on, people? Um, so the FOMC meeting had just ended and whatnot. Powell basically, I mean, we already knew what was expected, no rate cut. They're actually saying that they may only have one rate cut this year, which I mean is slightly crazy, but at the same time, man, I mean, it's we can't price in all that good stuff that we priced in off rip and then be surprised when things go as they going right now, especially with the geopolitical tension and everything else going on, man. Yeah, we can't go based off of that. So so anywho, so right now, man, here we are on the spy right now. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put some stuff out there in the chat, give people time to get up in here. And it's not like we got many folks in here anyway. All right, so the SPY is continuing to go down lower, which I don't really expect to see much of a bounce on the overall market. Qs is actually starting to catch up. We are right at the top of the sniper fair value gap. What's going on, man? How's it going? I don't go live much, so don't have much interaction. But if you want me to look at any names, you currently trade any names, drop them in the chat. My guy or my gal, whoever, that's just a family. Drop it in the chat. Want me to look at any names you trading, small cap, large cap, it don't matter. I'm actually gonna go look at Nvidia. Yep, so Nvidia then broke the bear flag as expected, which we talked about this in the Discord last night as well. So things are actually looking good, man. So right about now, I mean, only name. Let's go look at some defense names and see if we got any traction on any defense names going on. All right, so that's Nvidia. Let's go look at AMD. I'm gonna run through a couple of the semis to be honest. AMD, boy, this name is still strong and just holding up. AVGO. See how you doing? Mm. Yeah, I really like this name to the downside. Oh yeah, we done officially getting our pullback on beneath the daily 200 on the day on Broadcom. This is actually something good to look at. Uh, this had a spike the other day. I wonder what SMCI got going on. Yep, nothing. Yeah, nothing. That 3350 is really gonna be an area that we're gonna have to get above. That's gonna be the line in the sand on what you call it, SMCI. Like I'm not even gonna call that a resistance. That's my line in the sand. We get above that on SMCI, then we look good, man. But like I say, man, y'all let me know what y'all want to look at. Drop it down in the chat. Why is this saying unlisted? I just realized that. All right, so what is going on? This is saying unlisted and everything else. 1 second, people. 1 second. 1 second. Let's go back to the spy. All right, now we should get some people up in here, man. All right, so let's go ahead and run through a couple of things. I'm over here looking at trades and highlight the people in the Discord. But the market, I mean, at the end of the day, typically a lot of times after we get the FOMC meeting, the market doesn't digest things until, or basically for like what, like they say, a day or so. So sometimes it may not be, let's just say today, it could possibly could be tomorrow, or definitely even Friday, that the market will digest PPI, um, CPI, and the actual minutes or a meeting. But so right now, let's go to the lower. Let's go to the 30 minute. So since this 30-minute candle just now opened right now, basically at 3:30 during power hour. Now, as you guys see, that 665, 666 area, that's been like that area goes back for a while. So what I'm looking for now is let's go to the futures, right? Let's look at oil. So U.S. oil crude is still above 95, which I'm just now realizing that's the 200 on the 30 minute. We go to the hour time frame. That's a nice uptrend and we have reclaimed the 21. 2 hour, we're above the 21 again. So we held on two candles there, 4 hour above the 21, and then go back to the daily. The daily is just super extended. A lot of us already know that from this running gap from $67.50, basically 67, yeah, 67.50. But that's what oil looking like on the daily. Gold selling off. ES is actually, let's go to the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, as you guys can see, here we are on the S&P 500 futures, coming back into this gap up the day before September 25th, 25, 2025 FOMC meeting. What up, bro? Um, All right, I'm back, chat. My bad. Had to holler at my son real quick. So now here we are on the NQ futures, the Nasdaq futures, and it's coming down back into that 24,675 zone. I don't know why I got 676. Either way, it don't really matter. But we come back to that 24,675 zone. So again, we'll see what we get in the coming days, man, on this market. But go back to USO. USO at 121. I'm actually about to see what we really looking at on this thing here. So the high of the other day was 122.87 on USO. So that's what we're gonna put real quick. If I could get it there, 122.87. That's gonna be our resistance. I mean 123, but we'll go ahead and go with 122.87, right? Boom. And then I didn't even share this in the Discord. It's crazy. All right, so that's on the four. I'm going to go down to the lower time frame real quick on the 30 minutes. So yeah, I like that 122.87 wick top. Where do we pull back to and hold? We didn't even go all the way there. Yeah, we did the other day. And the market hours after, pre-market, market after. So this morning, so yesterday in the aftermarket, we filled the gap. And then pre-market, we went lower and we ended up holding this 116, 117 area. So that right there, so 117 is going to be a line in the sand. Obviously, I can't say obviously. If you guys have traded this name and you aren't familiar, then 113 was a decent spot. Yo, what's going on, Ron? I didn't even know you was in here. I done missed you now, bro. I barely look at the chat because I mean, we don't never have that many people up in the streams. And then this wick bottom here, yeah, that's 113.63. So this is all on the 30 minute. I typically do the higher time frame, but due to the volatility, it wouldn't hurt us to do um, this lower aspect, and then we'll work our way back up real quick to the 4 hour. No, let's go to the one. So the 1 hour. So this actually that 111.63. No, I don't like that. I do like that consolidation bottom hold. But what's this? 112.54. So 112.54 really, like, it's like that's a tight range of motion between, let's just say, 112.50 and 113.60. It's a tight range of motion. So I'm gonna remove this one here on USO. But I like how we trending up right about now on the hour, 2 hour. Oh yeah, looking pretty good. Cause right so far this here was after we ran up, boom, we tried to hold this area, we lost it, came back up. And to be honest, this is a 2 hour time frame. I like this whole area right here, that 115.97. That's really like the line in the sand. Yeah, forget 117. Because if 117, you may lose that, people may get scared out, and then that mug may pop back up. Yeah, I like that little area there on USO. You go to the 5 minute. 5 minute look good. 5 minute looks real good on USO. But we all know a lot of this could change, man. This could change by end of day. Um, who knows, man? We don't know. Ooh, look at Wolf. Wolf is losing 15.40 beneath 15.30. Wolf is actually an ideal trade. Oh yeah, we got a gap to that 14.60. That's a far fetch, definitely for today. But tomorrow, possibly we may see something. We'll see. See how this thing pan out on the day tomorrow. Like I say, any names y'all want me to look at, drop it in the chat. But dang, Amazon, that was fun while it lasted. Yo, you can't make that up. Can't make up the levels at all. Wow. So Amazon continues to respect all of these levels from what, 2023, 2024. I had these levels for Amazon for some time now. I don't even, let's just go back here. Yeah, 2024. We just been in this thing here for about 2 years, man. That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, okay, 2024. So now we'll go with 20, yeah, November 2024. So a little over a year. Amazon has been in this doggone little chop, this little range. I'll go ahead. I'm gonna take this off of here. Ain't like we need that anymore. Um, but yeah, a lot of these names, man. See, this is why I am so cautious, yo. So right now we on the weekly, right? Let's run through some of these. Amazon, the 200 SMA is all the way at 163. Nvidia, now that's crazy. I don't think it's coming near, but 200 SMA is all the way at 82. That is insane, boy. Which that would coincide still with $820. I want y'all to keep that in context. But Microsoft is the closest to its 200 SMA, which is around 370, which is why this makes this a very value play. The Discord knows I am waiting for 370. To be honest, I'm waiting for 323 to 340. Um, and I ain't playing. You know, this is 316, whatever, but if I could get 323 to 340, which as you see is that September 2023 high, I could take that for sure. But Microsoft is one of the closest. Apple, its 200 SMA on the weekly is 192. Now I know weekly is far fetched, but on the weekly is 192. Um, Meta, look at that, 412. Now even if I go to the daily, let's go to the daily. So the daily was beneath a lot of things, and this chart looks so ugly. We could get rid of this. That's going, but going down to the Meta's a name that I ain't gonna hold you. I would love to get Meta around 485, 520, to be honest. Really like 460 to, yeah, really like 460. If I could catch Meta at 430, 460, boy, that'd be the opportunity of a lifetime. Not saying that that's going to happen, but yeah. Another name, though, on the daily, let's see what Google looks like. On the daily, even on the daily, Google's 200 is at 251. And after their earnings back, well, not even their earnings, I forgot what that news was where this thing here took off in September. We still never came back to this 211, 215 zone ever, not once since September 2025. And we have just been in this zone for a decent minute. Now, we do got an ugly head and shoulders kind of forming slightly. It's like a little tilted head and shoulders. But I do like this name. This is one of the strongest names I liked over the past couple of days, ever since this gap down from last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. and we ran up, came down, we held this 300 area, boom, right into that 313, continue to respect the levels even on Google. So, like, if a lot of these large names are falling or consolidating, that's where I'm not saying like iron is one of them. I'm not saying that these are going to sell off, but if they aren't necessarily profitable yet, like, or even close to profitable, then and it's the 4 hour time frame. Mind you, the 4 hour time frame. Oklo just looks ugly. Um, yeah, this just looks bad. Like we got the death cross on the daily, and then here we are here. We cannot reclaim the 21 SMA for nothing. Yesterday they had that run up before earnings and because of that news with the government contract, but still, man, like even if we go to the weekly, like the 200 SMA on the weekly for this is 25. Now it is holding the key area. As you can see, this here was the run up and resistance back in the beginning of the year, 2025. But you got to take into context, man. And let's go here. Since that's May, April. Let's go to April. April of 2024, this stock was trading at $12, $13. And then here we are here, September 2024. This thing was at $5 to $7, basically $6.50 or less in just September 2024. By the time we get to September 2025, sheesh, whoa, there we go. By the time we get to September 2025, now we're trading in between the lows of 109 and the highs of 130. That's in 1 year. This name went from no, okay, yeah, 1 year. Yeah. So from $7 all the way to 130 in 1 year. Now, I'm not saying that was not granted, but with a non-profitable company, if Microsoft did this on a weekly, where's Iron going? Where's Akko going? You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that to hurt anyone's whatnot. Even look at something like Robinhood. Profitable. This is a profitable company. And then look what happened. Boom. But if we put into context, same thing we did. It's the weekly chart, by the way. But to let's go to September 2020. I mean, no, matter of fact, since this thing was out, March 2024, Hood on March 4th, 2024 was trading at $15. So within 2 years, I know this was in March, but still, within 2 years, you go and see highs of 153. But even still, now in March of 2 years later, you're still at 75 bucks per share. And then Liberation Day, if we take that into context, which was just last year, here go February 2025 around this area here. The highs was 67 bucks. And then by the time we got to Liberation Day or Liberation Week, because Liberation Day was April 9th, I believe, April 7th, 2025, here we are basically a month or two later from $67 to 30 lows of 30 bucks. So just April 2025, this stock was $30. And now, even roughly a year later, it's still at 67, well, 75. And it went high as 153. So I'm not fear mongering, but this is what we cover in the Discord, where it's like we trade structure over height. RCAT, beautiful name. Oh my gosh, look, it went high as and it almost broke my trend line. That's the weekly. We go to the daily on RCAT. Lovely. I mean, lovely. We got in around here, the retest of the $11 area. Me and you guys on the channel, y'all probably seen the videos anyway. But they got earnings today. We're not playing. What I'm looking for, honestly, I want to see if it come back to my line in the sand around 1330, if not lower. You come back to this golden zone or even this 200 on the daily. Oh, that's even better. I'm not saying it's going to fall that much, but the run up was beautiful. We just waited and it gave us the perfect setup. Like you could just look at it. But another name in this space is UMAC. And some of us caught this in the Discord. Some of us didn't because maybe it wasn't trusted. Me personally, I wanted to see if we go lower. The day that we went, I think it was here. We went low as like 1606, 1608. Yeah, right there, March 9th. I think that's when we called it out. But we wanted 1680, and we got that. As you see, it was way up here. Reject came back down, gave us that entry. Some of us took it in the Discord, like I say, and got shares and got dated contracts. And then now here we are, ran up to here. It came and pulled back, but we still didn't take it. Only reason why is because it's super extended. And again, we trade structure over hype. So even if we miss a potential entry on the play, there's always so many other plays, a number of them. You know, Palantir was one of them, a few of them, man. But anyway, so now let's go back to the SPY. We got 5 minutes until market close, and here we are. We done touched another line in the sand. So again, like I say, typically FOMC sometimes the market doesn't digest the news or the data immediately. I mean, sometimes they do, but you don't really see the real move until investors, hedge funds, all that, like dissect or digest, I guess you could say, the data we got, like PPI, CPI, and then FOMC minutes. I don't know what else we got more coming this week, but let's look at the Qs. Qs now is inside of that cyber fair value gap. So we lose 491, I mean 591. Let's put up the daily. We lose 591, then we're looking for that 200 SMA on the daily, which coincides actually, that is crazy how it coincides with a couple of areas that we could see off rip right here. Not here, but we might as well just go there a little bit, right? But and I gotta learn how to use my hotkeys. Anywho, do that right there. That's another little zone that the 200 SMA is lining up with on the daily. And then you guys see all basically both of these spots on the left and right of this arrow. Let's put it that way. So we got one gapped up, came down, held. Two went up, came down, held. Three came down, held this trend line. And then even right here, a couple of times, hold, bounce, hold, bounce. So this go around on the daily, if we don't hold and we lose that 200, then this is where a lot of folks was saying that they could see us hit 583 or so, which I believe that's somewhere, yeah, around this top, as you can see over here on the Qs. And yeah, we may see a bounce from there. But depending on how heavy and if this geopolitical tension gets worse or whatnot, then we really could be seeing something. But that's what I got for you guys. My take on the market. I'm not really bullish, but I mean I'm not bearish, but I for surely am not bullish. At least not right now. If I go look at the futures to close to wrap this up, so on the daily, let's go to the 4 hour. So yeah, I would rather to see us retest 6,600 again and bounce before I do anything else. On the ES and then on the NASDAQ, there we are, 24,680 coming up to that. So 24K. I want to see if we come back and retest that golden zone of 24,000 or whatnot, which I'm actually going to remove that 2480 and bring that down to 24,000. So that's what we got, man. But appreciate you guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. You know, we gonna start doing more lives in the coming days. But appreciate you guys. Much love. We out.